Hey guys, it's Upa here. So today I want to talk about gearing and particularly epic and legendary gear. So from the title, you may have seen me say something like how epic gears are better than legendary ones, and that may sound pretty counterintuitive, but there actually is quite a bit of truth in that statement, and I'm about to explain why. So first, let's find a gear set where I have both unupgraded epic and legendary gear pieces like this, right? So you can see, and this should be if you're somewhat, if you've been playing the game for a while now, you should know, at level 0, legendary gears will have four sub-rolls by default, and epics ones have 3 by default. So how does this matter? Well, for legendary gears, you can level gears up to level 16, and then you will have a total of 4 additional sub-roll buffs, right? So you could have like +1 on each of those stats, which combined is +4, or maybe you have like +3 on one stat and then +1 on another, and that's also +4, but the main gist of it is it all adds up to +4, correct? And for epic gears, when you upgrade from level 0 to 12, you will get up to +3 worth of bonus substats. So for instance, it could be +1 on each of these 3, or it could be +3 on one stat and then nothing on the other stats. But once again, the main thing is that the sum of the substat buffs is equal to +3. And then what happens for epic gears when you level from 12 to 16, you will unlock the final extra attribute without any substat upgrades, right? So how does this make epic gears better than legendary ones? So oftentimes you want to build gears, or you want to upgrade gears, and you're hoping that this substat will target very specific substats, right? Like the +1, you want it all to be maybe on mastery, or you want it all to be on HP rate, for example. And then if it hits something like healing effect, right, then you're not happy because you don't want the healing effect. So the reason why epic gears are better than legendary gears in some instances is because by having only 3 substats, the chance of the substat buff, for example, when we level every 4 levels, the substat buff hitting the substat that you want for epic gears is 1 in 3, right? Because there's only 3 substats, and then there's a 1 in 3 chance that it will target the specific one that you want. Or in this case, maybe I want both attack rate and mastery. So in that case, then I have a 2 in 3 chance for it to hit something that I want. But the main thing is, because there's only 3 substats, the chance of getting what you want is higher. So if we compare that to something like this, let's say I want HP rate, I only have a 1 in 4 chance that the substat buff will hit HP rate, right? So I didn't get the 1 in 4 chance, we can try again, I didn't get the 1 in 4 chance, try again, I didn't get the 1 in 4 chance, and so on. So just by that alone, the chance of you getting the substat that you want for the +1, +2, +3, and so on is much higher on epic gears. And this is especially important when you're trying to build characters, build speed on your characters, right? Because speed is one of the most important stats in the game, and ideally, especially when you're a higher level, you want to use pieces with maybe +3 speed or more, right? So yeah, so that's like one big part of this. So first of all, obviously, if you're really, really lucky, getting legendary gears will be better if you manage to get the +4 on the speed. But the fact is, that's not very realistic, and that happens really, really rarely. So most of the time, it's better to use epic gears for the higher chance of getting like a +3 speed or so on. And even if, let's say, you do get a +3 speed, you don't even really miss out. So let's just upgrade this one to max, and this is actually pretty decent. I mean, it's on a feather set, so generally I'll put this on my tanks, but sometimes you can find a use for this kind of thing, right? So even if, let's say, you get all the stats you want, so in this instance, getting +2 on attack rate and +1 on mastery is really, really good, right? I didn't get anything on defense, which would have been bad. Then in that case, you can always use the dragon skill to upgrade it to legendary, and when you do that, you will get one last additional bonus substat. So you can see over here, let's say this is a really good piece, which this one is decent, then I can upgrade it, and yeah, so you can see I managed to land the +3 on the attack, and now this is a really nice piece that I have. If I had the same exact, like a base legendary 6-star gear, and we had this 4 substats with +0, and I upgraded it from 0 to 16, the chance of me getting these exact stats would have been much less likely. So in that case, why shouldn't you just always use epic gear rather than legendary ones, right? You may ask that question. And well, the reason why you can't just be using epic gears and then upgrading is because you can't make a piece which you made from epic to legend. You can't make it from legend to mythic. You can only make gears which started at legendary tier mythic. So example, this one started at legendary tier. I can make it mythic if I want. And what mythic gears does, if you don't know, is it increases the main stat over here. And it also gives you one additional plus for your gear. So for example, we can look at my Marie who's in all mythic gear. We can take a look at, so something like this. You can see that by making it mythic, this base stat is higher compared to a regular attack gear. This one's 2160, this is 2880, and this one has +1, +2, +1, so total of +4, and this one has +4, +1, total of +5. But in a lot of cases, especially if you're in the mid game, where you can't afford to make that many pieces mythic in the first place, legendary gears will still suffice. And you can see across my different characters, I have a lot of characters who are using still legendary gear, right? And of course, I mean, even if you're in the late game, getting those mythic skills, they're not very common. I mean, you can get a bunch, but for the amount of gear that you have, you don't have enough to make every single thing mythic. So the only exceptions I would say where you don't really want to make a piece from epic to legendary is the boots and the A5 artifact. And that's because for these two items in particular, because they have speed as the main stat, they are the priority for your mythic skills, and you want to generally use your mythic skills on these two item slots so that you can get as much speed as you can. And lastly, of course, maybe you will get a really good piece and then eventually you won't be able to make it mythic, right, if it was initially epic. Well, in that case, I mean, your gear should always slowly be improving over time anyway. So just because you make a piece or like you have a good piece which you make from epic to legendary, it doesn't mean it won't be replaced, right? You could get an even better one in the future. And yeah, you just using epic gears as a baseline to get the stats that you need is a really big part, I feel, in getting good pieces of gears, especially speed ones. So this is a good example. Yeah, as you can see, so you can tell that this was initially an epic gear by this icon over here, these 3 diamonds. So this was initially an epic gear which I made legendary, and I managed to get a good speed piece, +3, 136. And across my different characters, you will see that I do have quite a few which I increase in rarity. So this one actually isn't that good, but maybe this. Yeah, so this one has speed +3. The sub roll for speed was actually pretty low, so even at +3 it's only 98, but I mean, the chance of getting a +3 speed to begin with, especially for a legendary piece, is pretty low. So using epic gear pieces really increases your chances of getting good subsets that you want. So yeah, just a quick one. And yeah, I saw some players saying like, oh, they some mid-game players actually, so they're not even new to the game, and they were saying how they only keep 6-star legendary pieces, and that was like really quite shocking to me because it's such a waste. In fact, even like some characters I even have, as you can see, I'm using elite gears, just for speed +2 over here, which makes it even easier because if you have an elite gear with a speed substat, so I'm not sure if I have any more. If you have elite gears with a speed substat, you have a 1 in 4 chance of landing the +2 speed. And if you start with like a 35 sub roll like this, and you land the 1 in 4 chance, okay, I didn't this time, but if you land the 1 in 4 chance, this speed piece can easily be around 99, 98, like very high speed. So maybe we can hopefully get an example. So this one we got the wrong stat. Let's find another 35. Okay, so no luck, but anyway, as I just keep trying and hopefully am able to show you an example, you can get like really high speed pieces. I mean, 100 is already a lot, and it doesn't even cost it's just so simple to achieve, right? 1 in 4 chance. And yeah, so don't waste your epic gears. Don't waste your epic gears, and sometimes you don't even want to waste your elite gears. Both can be really good at getting cheap and easily accessible gears that you need. So yeah, stop selling those gears if they have good substats, and and just level them to level 12 for epic gears and level 8 for elite gears for you to see the substats that you get, and then from there you can decide whether you want to keep it or not. So yeah, that's all we have for today, and I'll see you guys next time.